Shalom Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Shem, Yahweh Shai by Shemar Kakadash, that born to the apostles, and elsewhere Milsom for teaching us his truth, peace, and blessings. The hope collective Israel and Shalom. Yahweh is the name of the heavenly in Hebrew, by Hashem means the name, and Yahweh Shai is the name of the begotten Son. Back on the lesson, and back with another update going to the M.O.T.B. As you are seeing the infrastructure, the foundation that's being laid out to usher in this beast system to condition, to prepare the people for what's to come. As you've been seeing more and more lately, in a lot of these supermarkets, these stores, implementing a more digitized system. Over there in China, where you need to have, scan, a QR code on your phone to enter, a restaurant, a fast food place, supermarkets, especially just dealing with the thing that they have in those stores. We're able to pay just by the way of your face, and especially what you have over here in Babylon the Great, America. They're progressing, more and more on a daily basis, implementing more apps on your phone, where I think they have now an Amazon, where you can just pretty much walk in a store and just, pick up what you need and walk out. And it'll be charged, or the transaction will be automatically charged to your bank account. So you see, ultimately, the direction that these devils are leading to, if you have the eyes to see, going to 2 Corinthians 2:11, how we're not ignorant of we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. We see what his devil's ultimately planning and what he is trying to do. Amazon One, you're able to pay with the palm of your hand. Multiple videos coming out. People are now using it, signing up. And when to sign up for Amazon One, you need to scan your palm, and I believe it connects to your your ID or your Amazon account. I forget the exact intricacies of how it works, but you see the direction that they are going, just to put it plain and simple. But I just saw this recent video. It says POV, your school got an upgrade. And now once again, you're seeing more and more places are ultimately moving to a more digitized direction, a digitized system, which you're about to see, which I'm going to leave the video on mute because it's just playing a copyrighted music or a copyrighted song in the background, because last time it made it to where my videos couldn't be seen in certain locations. But it plays video right here, and you're about to see it can't get any clearer than what the M.O.T.B is going to be. But let's finish this off. So you have these old lockers where obviously they'll have those locks where you do the combination. But hey, you're about to see the direction that this is leading up to. When I first saw this, I'm like, how are you gonna open that? And then you see, boom. So now, as this keeps going to Revelation 13 and 16, how and he called those both great, rich, and poor, free and bond to receive a mark in the right hand or in their foreheads, which, when you go into the etymology of the word mark, goes into the word, charagma in the Greek, which goes into the word etch, scratching, so showing you it's a physical mark. On to the 17th verse, how you won't be able to buy nor sell without it. You won't be able to live a so-called normal life without the charagma, without the C-hip. And you can see how they're going to force a lot of people's hands and push them into a corner to where you'll be forced to make a choice. If you don't want to get down with this, this beast system and take that charagma, you won't be able to once again live a so-called normal life. You won't be able to do anything without it. You won't be able to go to school. And they'll start implementing these mandates, these restrictions, to where if your child doesn't have this charagma, they can't go to school. You can't go to supermarkets. You can't go to stores. You can't buy anything. You can't travel. You can't do anything without it. And that's the direction that these devils are leading to. But that's where our faith is going to be tried and will be tested. But let's play this video back one more time. So you see the old-time lockers, and as I was mentioning throughout the lesson at the beginning, you already see the infrastructure, the foundation being laid out. More apps are being implemented on your phone to where you're able to just, pick up and go. Over there in Disney World, where they have these fingerprint scanners now, or just these bracelets where you're able just to tap it on this little Mickey Mouse looking deal and just walk straight through. So if you have the eyes to see, you obviously know what's going on, the direction that this is leading up to. And this is plain and simple right here, man. You can already imagine, especially the so-called benefits that they'll pushed out to where you don't have to carry your pass anymore, your ID. It'll be more secure and more safe instead of you losing it and people picking it up and knowing who you is and that. Just these so-called safety precautions and how beneficial it will be. And many of our people are going to be deceived into taking these things. I don't have to carry my car keys anymore. I can just scan or tap my car door and it'll open. Start it with just my hand. Because now you're seeing more and more, as you see Elon Musk creating these Teslas and these electrical vehicles, So the implementation of the M.O.T.B will be so-called beneficial to a lot of people. And that's why you have many of our people that's going to bend the knee and crack under that pressure, and give in. They're going to fall into those temptations, and many people in this world in general will be lining up to take it. As you're going to have many of these celebrities being used in order to promote these agenda, as you already see them doing already. As you saw with Little Uzi a while back, where you had that diamond in his forehead, and he was basically retweeting Elon Musk how he can't wait for the Neuralink, to take it. And you have many of our own people that especially idolize and looks up to these guys, man, these damn demons, promoting adultery, killing each other, this and that, all sorts of wickedness, and especially buying the new latest clothes, the new designer shoes and clothing brands, this and that. The new J's are out, and you're guaranteed Jake is gonna be lining up for this so-called new wave, the next big thing. But as you see right there, how he uses his own, his school ID to open up his locker. And if you have the IC, you can obviously see the direction this is gonna be led to. Where you're gonna, have that marked in order to just open your lockers now to enter the school for a more safety precaution, this and that, to know who, who's or to take attendance of the students that are there, and you can see what these devils are gonna do. It's like if it's not like a broken record if I'm repeating certain points, but it can't get any clearer than now what the M.O.T.B is. And a lot of these Israelite camps that are still pushing that the M.O.T.B is spiritual, that it's sin, which is just off, man. Yes, the M.O.T.B is a sin, but it's not sin itself. A lot of these guys are still not able to receive it, and ultimately a lot of these guys have sold out and took the bag, leading our people astray. Now, as Revelation 13, 16 to 17, the main script you should know by now, as we are seeing what's in the foundation and the infrastructure being laid out before our very eyes, man. This is an end-time prophecy, one of the major end-time prophecies that we would see before our Lord Yahushua makes a return. Excuse me. Now, it says, and he caused all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. So going on to all, basically, the classes, the middle class, the low class, the high class, the rich, the poor, as you see right here. Plain and simple. And he caused all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. And once again, when you go to the word mark, goes into the word charagma, which goes into the word etch, scratch. So showing you it's a physical mark. It's physical. You also go into the word stigma, which is going to the insertion, the injector. As well, you have or in their foreheads, going to Elon Musk creating the Neuralink, the mark in the forehead, as well as many other similar companies are creating similar things. And once again, you see the so-called benefits and the miracles that they be performing on the left-hand side by the way of the technology, how people that are paralyzed are able to walk again, people that are blind able to see. And you're going to have many people that's going to give in and be deceived by those things, And you taking that M.O.T.B goes to show that you are in agreement and down with this beast system. That you are making Esau Edom your God. As you have many people that'll chip their animals and their cats, their dogs, and as you have Esau Edom, that will brand their cows to show that they have ownership over those animals. That they're like that, to show that it is their possession. It's like a tongue twister, but just to go show that they have ownership over those animals. This is what they want to do to you. But Jake is too simple to realize, man. It's cool. It's the next big thing. I can listen to music in my brain. And, you're just mad because Elon Musk came out with this where it helps the sick, the blind, the disabled, this and that. Now, you're just a hater, man. If you take this M.O.T.B, you will be destroyed. There's no ifs or buts about it. There's no getting around it. You will be destroyed and put to death. Now, verse 17. And that no man might buy or sell. So very soon you won't be able to... Speaking too fast. Pretty soon you won't be able to buy nor sell without... You won't be able to do anything without this charagma. And once again, as I was pushing earlier in the beginning lesson, this is how they're going to force a lot of our people's hands and push them to the corner. As well as, have many brothers have families to take care of. They have, women and children. And we're going to be faced with, these temptations and, your own woman saying, even the kids are hungry. How are we going to eat this and that? Hey, have faith in Yahweh Shemel Shai. This is where our faith is ultimately going to be tried, man. When we're faced with these hardships, the adversities, especially with these temptations that are to come. Mainly dealing with this M.O.T.B. Then Yahweh Shemel is going to make it known who he's dealing with and who he's not. Who truly believes and who doesn't. The Lord's going to make a separation. Verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell if he that the mark of the name of the beast or the number of his name. Now let's continue on. It's like if I'm kind of, dragging this out, but, gotta hit the main point. The Lord's edifying. 2 Corinthians 2:11. As I also kind of brought out earlier, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. So we see what the devil is trying to do, what his plans are. As you see, he likes to show his future plans. He wants to, things that he wants to do in these movies, his cartoons and TV shows. Just to go show how prideful this devil is. And ultimately, just showing truth in plain sight. And, of course, when we're bringing out these things and warn Jake about this stuff, you're crazy, that's a conspiracy theory. But, ultimately, Jake just wants to... Or Jake just wants to hear it come out of Esau Edom's mouth mainly. Instead of believing their own people. Now, let's get Habakkuk 2 and 3, because these are the times that we are in, man. And as you know, this is a major end-time prophecy that is, pretty much taking place before our very eyes as we speak. As you see, once again, America in trillions of dollars of debt, 31 trillion now, the economy collapsing, and now they're going to bring in the so-called solution to solve this worldwide problem. Now it says, for the visions yet for an appointed time, but they shall speak, but the end shall speak and not lie. But I see we are in those appointed times, as written and spoken of in the scriptures. Now it says, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry, meaning it will not delay. So these things will come to pass, it will happen. Now let's get Revelation 2 and 10. And we are going to face persecution for denying this M.O.T.B, for not bowing down to this beast system. And once you take this M.O.T.B, that just goes to show that you are in agreement with this society. The way that these devils are doing things. Slack, trying to find my words. Revelation 2 and 10. And it says, fear no things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast you into prison, that ye may be tried. So you have brothers getting thrown into jail, even thrown into these certain camps, for denying these things, for not bowing down. And a lot of brothers are going to face, certain members of the elect are going to be, faced with death, being, beheaded by that guillotine. And it says, fear none of things, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast you into prison, that ye may be tried. So once again, we're going to face persecution. We're going to be tried. Behold, the devil shall cast you into prison, that ye may be tried, and shall have tribulation 10 days, going to a certain period of time. Be thou faithful unto death, and I'll give thee a crown of life. So is a reward and a prize waiting for us if we continue to endure these things, remaining faithful, and putting our faith and trust in Yahweh Shemel Shai. Once again, you got to truly believe in this thing, man. And what's in Yahweh Shemel Shai is going to make it known who truly believes and who doesn't. The Lord is going to purposely put us in the midst of certain situations in order to try our faith, to see what we do, to see how we react, as the Lord does with us now, to see if we apply what we know. And that's why Yahweh Shemel Shai has constantly been putting us through these things and ultimately building us up so that we're able to endure these coming times. Now let's get Revelation 3 and 10. Because Yahweh Shemel Shai is going to give his elect men that, the strength and the spirit to endure and to deny these things. Because you're going to have many of our people that's in this truth that know that they're Israelites that are going to crack under that person that's going to bend the knee and take that charagma, man. And we hope and pray that we're of that number that stands boldly for Yahweh Shemel Shai in those days. Now, it said, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation. The hour of temptation is going to be when the M.O.T.B is presented in front of us, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. So everyone's going to be faced with this. Now, let's get James 1:12 down to that point. Blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life. So if we endure these things, the time of Jacob's trouble, the persecution, the demonization that's to come, especially when we're faced with these temptations, continue to remain strong and stand boldly for our Lord in those days. There's a reward and a prize waiting for the end of that finish line, man. That's why scripture going to 2 Corinthians 4:17, which I believe that's the correct scripture, going to, for all light affliction, is but for a moment. Worketh for us a far more exceeding weight of glory. So the things that we go through now, then compared to what we will receive and inherit in the kingdom, man. So it's more than worth going through these things, and especially even when we're faced with death. That's why the scripture comes to Isaiah 33:6, how wisdom and knowledge shall be stability of thy times. We have full faith and trust in Yahweh B'Shem Shai. This truth, this knowledge and understanding the Lord bestowed upon us keeps us sane and stable, man. Especially coming to these last days. Now, which I don't know if I finished that off. Now it says, blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord hath promised them that love him. So there you go, that reward, salvation. Because you're always going to have certain members of the elect that's going to pass on from his side, but we'll be risen back up first, man, and come back, in those new bodies, with our Lord, man. I believe it mentions it in 2 Thessalonians, if not 1 Thessalonians, going to, as well as 1 Corinthians 15. In the twinkling of an eye should be changed, and I think around 2 Thessalonians, being joined together with them that are in the clouds, going to those chariots, those vehicles that are going to be used for the deliverance of the elect. Going to Matthew 24 and I believe 31. And the angels of the Lord shall gather together his elect from the four winds. But there you go. Now it says Revelations 4:14, 19, or it's like 9 through 10 to go into the judgment that's going to come unto those that take this mark. Now, as the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, it's ultimately the beast representing, the ancient Roman Empire, and his image representing, this society and the way that these, or the direction that these devils are going. And receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand. Going to that charagma, the M.O.T.B, which as you see once in Elon Musk, creating the Neuralink, the mark in the forehead, as we have the, the mark in the hand. As you see, many of these guys trying to debunk, or, ultimately making a joke of what the M.O.T.B is, saying, it's a potato chip. I can take it in my left hand since it's in my right hand. Going to Revelation 13:16, but right here it says, if any man worship the beast and his image and receive his mark in his hand, just like it, receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand. So, either hand you take it in, you will be destroyed. In your right hand is your dominant hand. But now it says, verse 10, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture, and is a cup of his indignation, and shall be tormented with fire and brimstone. And that fire and brimstone is going to be those thermonuclear missiles, that thermonuclear fire, the Yahweh B'Shem Shai is going to barrage upon this place. Now it says, in the presence of the holy angels, in the presence of the Lamb, which will be our Lord Yahweh Shai. Now, 2 Thessalonians 2:9, which actually I want to kind of maybe go back to that point, but even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. You got to meet our people that's going to fall into those temptations and be deceived by these miracles and be performing left and side, the so-called benefits of taking the charagma, as you see in these amusement parks where they have the fast pass, where you're able to pretty much skip any line, and I believe now you have bracelets to pretty much get through and all that. I brought that up because I made a lesson a while back. There was this video where you had this guy, there was an app on a phone where he used it and pretty much was able to, I think, pay by the way of the phone, or prepay for things that he bought. Came to the store and picked it up and just walks out the door. There's a big line around him. Everybody was just, all lined up. And he was able to just pretty much walk out the door, and he was talking about how cool it is, how beneficial it was to him, that he saved so much time in that. So you're going to see many people that's just going to hop right on board with it and just, ultimately be deceived. Now, it says, even him who's coming, that's the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders. A few more scriptures, Isaiah 30, 1 through 3. And this would come to those that continue to trust in Esau, Edom, this devil. Woe to rebellious children, say Yahweh Shemashah, that take counsel, but not of me, that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin, that walk to go down to Egypt and have not asked of my mouth. So many of our people that's continue to go down to and run down to Esau, Edom for help and putting their faith and trust in this devil. Of course, we still have to rely upon these devils. We have to adapt and still ultimately rely upon these devils for things, for money, for food. But very soon, when they start implementing these mandates, these restrictions, going to Isaiah 10:20, that's when we're going to take a step back and rely fully upon our God, man, Yahweh Shai. But now it says that walk to go into Egypt and have not asked my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh and the trust in the child of Egypt. Now this is what's going to befall those that continue to put their faith and trust in Esau, Edom, this whole white man. Thinking that it's going to be beneficial to you, that these devils are trying to work it out to where this helps you. Sure, it may seem like that way, but these devils going to be able to control you, shut you off, especially with all these 5G towers that they got now, and especially with all the juiced up people. You don't know what you're gonna be, man. Especially when you take that charagma. Maybe a damn zombie, a cyborg. Verse 3, therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt be your confusion. So it's gonna be your shame and your confusion for trusting in these devils. You're gonna continue to join in hand with the enemy, with Esau, Edom, putting your faith and trust in him rather than Yahweh Shai. You're gonna get what's coming to you. Consequences. Psalms 118:8. Down to that point, it's better to trust in Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, than to put confidence in man. Yahweh Shai is the one that's orchestrating all these things. It's putting the spirit on these devils to do these things, to push these things out. Yet you want to fear Esau even more than Yahweh Shai. Come on, man. But you kind of touch on the main point, but once again, you will receive heavy judgment for taking this charagma. Yet many of our people that still continue to take it lightly and try to wiggle around prophecy and what's written. Read it from the top one more time, we'll clear it out from here. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, for men worship the beast and his image. When it's going to go into Esau, Edom society and the way that things are going and the way that things are set in place. Going to show that you are in agreement with it when you take that charagma, that mark. That you are worshiping it. And receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand. Watch this narrate one more time. The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and shall be tormented with fire and brimstone, and the presence of the angels and the presence of the Lamb. So that's going to befall those that bend the knee, that crack under the pressure, and that take that M.O.T.B. And it can't get any clearer than what the M.O.T.B is right now. You already see the infrastructure foundation being laid out, and those that are going to continue to be ignorant, speaking to those Israelite camps that continue to push that the market is spiritual. And ultimately, the Lord is not dealing with you, man, because once again, it can't get any clearer than what the M.O.T.B is. You see it right playing out before your very eyes, man. What these devils are ultimately directing us towards. All this, supermarkets and stores, schools now are, moving to a digitized direction, man. And once again, it can't get any clearer than what it is now. So, Lord's edifying lesson. It's like if I kind of ramble a little bit, but Lord, I got the point across, and it was edifying lesson to the very elect. But I do want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shemashai, Bashem Kakadash, W.R.Z. Apostles, and also great millstone for teaching this truth. Peace and blessings to the whole collective Israel. Shalom,